Hello, and welcome to the Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle. And I have finally used this large art compass. Now, I ended up tying, the pencil is taped here and tied here. And of course I had to tie the small dowel rod up here as well and here. So that it would be secure, but it works. It works fantastically. So, my mom just recently bought herself a lounge chair, and in the bottom of it was this big old piece of cardboard here. And Michelle wanted to make Beckett a racetrack or a map so he could draw his cars and stuff on and everything, which is fine. I think that's a good idea, but I also have need for it. So what I decided to do was I find the center of it, as you can see right there, found the center of it, and I just made the circle as large as I could. And it turned out to be 13.5 inch from center out, 13.5 inches. Now, I said, okay, let's just cut that down to 13 inches because it'll be perfect for what I want. Now, 13.5 isn't too bad, just randomly deciding to make it as large as I can. So I just simply, there we go, readjusted and made it 13 inches instead of 13.5. And there's the circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that out and have it a circle because I'm going to use it for a project. And when I'm done using it, it's going to be a template. When I'm done using it for a project, then we can draw the map onto, well, we can draw it on there now. I don't need the cardboard. I'm using it basically as a circle template. But then when we're done, we can create Beckett's, or any of the grandkids really. But Beckett's the only one that's around a lot and is interested in Hot Wheels and stuff like that. And then we can create his little, I don't know, little town or village or racetrack or whatever we decide to draw on there. So he can drive his cars and trucks because he loves anything construction. So right now, all I need to do is cut that 13-inch circumference circle out, and then we can get started with the project that I want to use it for. And at some point, we can start putting features on it for the grandkids. Okay, so we have the circle made on the cardboard, and as a matter of fact, the error or a mistake of making it too large, or making it as large as I could make it on the cardboard has actually turned out to be a really good thing. It is the outside circle has a diameter of 13.5, but I decided I'd just go with straight 13 because it would be perfect for what I need to do. So I went ahead and did the 13 inch, which gives it like a 1/4 of an inch. And so what I need to do is I have this bag, or 2 bags actually, of these black beads that I got from the Dollar Tree. And they are not exact, which I don't want them to be exact. But what I need to do is make sure that I'm going to separate them into stones about this size versus maybe this one and this one here. You know, there we go, is a good one. And then these here. So basically I'm going to separate them and try to keep the ones that are generally what I'm looking for. That's a little large, but that one might be available too. So I'm going to go ahead and separate them, and once I get that done, then we can continue by laying these stones on like this. So I can make my circle just like this, and I'm going to make that 13-inch circle, and maybe 13 and a half, all the way, well, the inside will be 13 inches, the outside about 13 and a half. And then I get all of these here that don't fit what I want, and we can use those for something else. But I'm going to get these all done. What I'm going to have to do is turn them upside down, to be totally honest. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter at this point, does it? Yeah, I guess upside down doesn't really matter. But I'm going to dab a bit of E600 to connect them, and I want to make a circle, and I want to figure out how to make this circle sturdy enough that I can move and remove it off of this cardboard. So I just want to have a rock circle that will be the interior of 13-inch diameter completely around. So let me separate these and we'll get to that. Okay, so I have the circle made now. Let's get a little closer so we can see exactly what we're doing here. So I tried to use the ones that were generally the same, rather than, I had a couple that are really big and I ended up having to remove them. It's not too bad. I think it's going to work. Well, at least this part. So there's the circle. Now what I got to do, besides change the battery, is figure out how to get these glued. I would prefer to have them glued and then be able to be removed, so it's just a round, secure circle with rock. But I might have to figure something else out, because I don't think that these rocks, even with the E6000, are going to secure themselves well enough to be able to be an individual link out off, so that it's just the circle without some kind of support on it. So I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do with that, because this cardboard is supposed to be for Beckett, so I can't take that. But I'm gonna figure it out. I am. So what if I put a strand of cord in the center of that and glue that all down, and that will help secure it. Maybe have to do a couple layers of it, but then when I turn it over, this would be the bottom part, it would make it more secure. That's an idea. So what I'm thinking right now, just off the top of my head, is cordage like this twine. If I E6000 a batch of it here like this, all the way around it, and maybe I'm gonna have to do it, let's say 3 times. Boom, you know, right there, 3 times. And if I get that E6000 on there, I can create a base that will actually secure and strengthen these stones so that they can remain in this circle. Even though I can lift them up, move them around, it makes like a hoop. I guess, yeah, maybe it would make like a hoop or something like that. If I can do that, that's what I want to do. Now, if I use this cordage and it doesn't work, and it doesn't stiffen up enough to actually make that loop or the hoop, then I basically just wasted these rocks and this cordage, and I have to start over some other way. But they were from the Dollar Tree, and it's not like, you know, it was $2.50 for the rocks. I could always get more if I jack this up. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go through here, and I think what I'll do is I'll just put some glue down, do 3 or 4 of them, secure it down so that it dries decently, do a few more, let it dry, do a few more, and once I circle this maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe the glue in this cordage will cause a support that will hold them up, and then I can use that as the backing, and when I flip it over and lay it down, it should in my head create a hoop of these rocks that I can use as a portable. I can move it around and still not jack it up, hopefully, and it'll make a really cool circle. So let's just start and say heck with it and give it a shot, right? Alright, so why not, you know? What's the worst possible thing that happens? It doesn't work, and then I have to try something else, right? So what I'm going to do is, let's just put some E6000 right down the center of, let's say, six of these rocks, just like so. And then let's just lay this cordage down. Just like so. Yeah, but that's going to be, it's going to cause an issue. There we go. I think 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 may be even a little too many to try at first, because I definitely want to make sure that these are together and touching. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, looks like 4 is probably all I better do. So I want to make sure that they maintain their position, because they have to stay in the circle, and they have to be connected. I don't want there to be any gaps between these rocks when they glue and dry. There we go. Alright, so this is gonna take some time. And I had to make sure that I get them where I want them. I could lay something on top of it, but I'm afraid if I do that, then the glue will glue itself to whatever's on top of it and then stick to it. I don't want that to happen. So if I have to do them individually, one at a time, I will. That one needs to come out of there. That one isn't going to work at all right now. So it looks like 5 is about the maximum that I'm going to be able to do. Alright, so there we go. We're going to glue those. I'm going to let those dry a little bit. And then I'll just continue on. Try to go around this thing at 3 times at least, but I want to make sure I keep them in the circle the way I want them. They need to go ahead and move these back a little bit. I want to make sure that they stay in that circle. want them. They need to be connected and create a decent circle. There we go. Alright, so we're going to continue with doing this for however long it takes me to get it to work.